When you hear the term eating healthy, the last thing you associate with that phrase is coffee and cake. And that's because we associate those two with eating unhealthy. Well, we're here today with some education and a recipe to help change that narrative and show you how you can actually get healthier by eating the right type of cake and drinking the right type of coffee. My name is Joshua, this is my wonderful wife and co-host Catherine, and this is Feel Better Eating, a whole food plant-based experience that has the intention to educate and inspire you to eat foods that make you feel better.
So today we are going to be doing a cafe morning with all of our guests here at the Grace Learning Center. Welcome. The cafe mornings for us are those slow weekend mornings when you wake up maybe a bit late and you're looking for something to do. Maybe that is chill and fun and engaging. So we like to wake up and have a sweet cake, enjoy some delicious rich coffee, and we like to play games. So we believe that when we have cafe mornings like this on a Saturday or Sunday, it brings creativity, it brings lightheartedness and fun to the weekend, which we really appreciate and enjoy on our weekend.
We appreciate you joining us here live in Michigan City at the Grace Learning Center, and the millions watching the replay on YouTube. We appreciate you all and your time here. So Catherine, we've got some hungry crowd here. Let's get into the recipe. Where are we going to start?
Well, first we have to say thank you to Taylor, who led the trail for us to be able to do this recipe. She made it for us. We really enjoyed it, and we said we're going to do this one for the show. So we've made a few changes to the recipe, and we're really excited about all of the health benefits that it is going to provide for you. This cake and coffee combo, surprisingly enough, is really good for your brain health, and we're going to get into why each of these ingredients will nourish your brain. So we're going to start off by making the crust for the cake. I believe every cake should have a crust, especially when it's going to be this raw version. This is going to be a plant-based, mostly raw cake. So usually we're going to use one of these food processors, but upon putting things in it and then closing it, we couldn't get to start, and now we can't get the lid off. So first we're going to be adding chia seeds and flax seeds. Chia and flax seeds are a staple in our house. We include them in recipes every single day. If it's not in a smoothie or an energy bar or in these cakes and breads, there's multiple places that you can sneak these into your meals, and it's essential that you do so because they are essential fatty acids. Essential fatty acids is just a fancy word for a chemical that our body cannot produce on its own. And so when we consume foods that have these essential fatty acids in them, they go into our body, and our body is able to use it to work on our brain health, our neurotransmitters, and any other function of our body. Essential fatty acids of chia and flax seeds are really important in the morning as well, because they give you fiber. Everyone says, oh, fiber is healthy. Why is it healthy? It is a magical substance that allows us to manage our weight, improve our digestion. It helps with sugar regulation as well. So as you notice in the recipe, we're adding a cup of each of these into the cake.
Next up, we've got pistachios. You can substitute these for realistically any type of nut. We've just chose pistachios today because we really like the flavor. These are actually the ones still in shells, so if you're looking for an efficient methodology, definitely buy the pre-shelled pistachios, otherwise you're going to be picking your way through a whole cup, and it is what it is. But we're going to put a cup in here. Wow, look at that, it's filling up, wonderful.
Evidence suggests that pistachios may reduce oxidative stress, so they're a very delicious snack, and you can just think about when you're eating it like, oh, this could be good for me. Next, we're going to be adding cocoa powder. Cocoa powder gives that euphoric feeling, you know, childhood, life, everything. Just chocolate is something that we seek. Most people enjoy chocolate, and so we're going to add that in there. It does bring euphoria, happiness. It's got caffeine in it as well, a little bit, and so it really complements the coffee well, in my opinion, if you have chocolate and coffee.
Next up, we've got coconut flakes. This is to add texture, a lot of good essential fats, and a lot of taste as well. And these are, as we talk about in lots of different episodes, they're very, very affordable. These are good for your oral health as well. They have good properties, so when you eat this, even though you're going to be drinking coffee, it kind of make your breath smell. Because it's got coconut in, it's going to cleanse your palate, and it's going to be good for your teeth, cavities, all of those aspects. So there are a lot of, when we talk about coconut, because we include it in so many recipes, we try to touch on some of the more niche alternative benefits, and that is one of them. But this really is a superfood. So Just like the chia seeds and flax seeds, this is a staple for us, and we put coconut in a lot of, pretty much most of our, especially sweet dishes. I think we've used it on every show today. We love coconut. Big coconut fans, so we're going to get that in there as well. Love that. Next up, what we got? Sunflower butter.
Yeah. So sunflower butter is the,
Well,
got a little snack on the way there. Sunflower butter is the alternative that we like to use as a nut butter for peanut butter because it doesn't come with as many allergenic effects. Sunflower butter is very affordable compared to an almond butter, and it really provides a nice nutty flavor. Fun fact about sunflower butter is that one serving of sunflower butter gives you all of your vitamin E daily intake, which is nice. Vitamin E is good for your skin and your hair, things that we appreciate about our bodies.
There's also a good amount of fat as well in this, and it will make the crust stick together. A lot of the ingredients going in here are dry, so if we just process those, it will stay kind of fluffy and break apart. As soon as we add fats in like this, it's going to help bind it all together. The coconut will also do that, but that's a big role that this is going to have in this recipe. So we're going to
peanut butter substitute.
Yeah. So you can use peanut butter in this recipe. You can use sunflower butter, almond butter, cashew butter. Really, any of the nuts that are turned into butters will work in this recipe. We just like sunflower butter. It's the most cost-effective alternative because Kate is allergic to peanut butter, so we have to have an alternative. So we're going to add. I'm getting real fast at that. See how fast it's going in? It's unbelievable.
We can like AI it filling up. Okay, so next we're gonna add medjool dates. These dates are our favorite raw candy. They're the oldest cultivated fruit. Some consider the date palm tree to be the tree of life. It is a beautiful fruit. We get them dried here at the store, and we are adding them to the crust not only for stickiness and sweetness, but we're adding it because of its health benefits. It's good for fiber, good for potassium, and any other benefits.
Antioxidant, natural sugars, very satiating as well, and this will make
high in calories.
High in calories. There's just a lot of good things to say about medjool dates. Again, included in a lot of our recipes, and you'll see how we structure our plans. Lots of the ingredients are repeated, so we can buy in bulk, which helps reduce cost, and you get the health benefits more consistently. So this is just a small 9-ounce packet, but you can buy pounds of medjool dates, and I highly recommend that because it makes it a lot cheaper.
Because remember how this is a recipe for your brain health, dates are also shown to have neuroprotective properties. There you
Wonderful.
go.
So we're going to get them in. Next up, this was a late addition by Catherine. You're going to tell us why, but this is organic protein plus greens, so it's a pretty sneaky, cheeky way to get the benefits of leafy greens into a dessert, something I never really considered. Tell us more about this. Why did you choose protein plus greens?
Well, because it gives you the greens, it gives you a full serving of protein, and as well as it has that full amino profile. These amino profiles are good for building muscles, they're good for every bodily function, and as well it has the fiber in it, and we love having fiber in the morning. When you set yourself up to have the first meal of the day be as healthy as possible, it gets the ball rolling for wanting to make healthier meal decisions later and throughout the day, we believe.
This also has probiotics in as well, which will help with digestion and long-term gut health. So we're going to press the blend button on this, and it's going to come out like this.
The way it turned out is really good. It's really gooey, it's sticking, it's like a perfect crust base that I can see from here all the little bits, the pistachios, the chia seeds, the flax, the nut butters, the dates. It looks really chocolatey and delicious, so I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, and that just by itself would probably be fine as just a
Yeah, you could
dessert.
eat that by itself,
What
really.
are we going to add to it next, Catherine?
We are adding coconut oil and coconut milk because, as we said, this is a brain cake, and both coconut oil and coconut milk has been shown to be good for brain health. So once you include it in your morning meal, you'll be supporting your brain first thing in the day, which is, we think, really important.
How much maple syrup are we putting in?
Maple syrup, we're putting in...
Quarter cup, I believe.
Half a cup.
Half a cup, whoa.
Holy moly.
Why are we adding half a cup of maple syrup?
So this is the Midwest sweetness goodness.
What's next in there?
Cocoa powder again, so...
We're back.
Back with more euphoric feelings. Something fun about cocoa powder, it increases blood flow. And some say that it increases the blood flow of all areas of the body. So if you have intentions to have a cafe morning with someone that you enjoy the company with.
A different type of card game.
A different type of game than cards, if you know what I mean. Cocoa powder facilitates that.
Get the benefits, rack another benefit up of this recipe. We've got to sell it. Next up, we've got half a cup of cashew nuts, and just like with the pistachios, you can substitute cashews for any nut, really. It's just whatever personal preference is. We love cashew nuts. For us, they're the most cost effective, and they have a pretty detailed nutrient profile. They have a lot of protein in here and full amino acid profiles, as Kate spoke about earlier, meaning that this is a complete protein. So there's lots of benefits, and if you ever use the food trackers that show you what's in your food, cashews tick a lot of boxes. So we use these in a lot of recipes. We're going to add in half a cup, correct?
Yeah.
Can you help me? It's a bit slippy, that bag. Whoa!
Cashews for everyone.
Cashews for everyone. The practice with the food processor didn't help, did it?
No, it didn't.
Right, is that it in there?
Yeah, so that's gonna be our gooey center, middle layer, just something to add a little bit of extra nutrients and flavor and texture.
We're gonna take a short blending break.
Yes, 1 minute, please.
I'm gonna take this, and Catherine's gonna pour it on top. Beautiful.
Very chocolatey. Just looks like a chocolate cake.
So this has only been in the freezer for about 18 minutes, and it's already
yeah.
It's already pretty hard. If you're doing this at home, I would leave it an hour really in the fridge. You want it to where there's just no wobble.
Yeah, so like we've said before, you could eat the crust just as it is. You could probably just eat this as it is, but to add an extra layer to it and make it even a more special cake, we're gonna add berries to the top of it. So here we have some wild blueberries. We love berries, especially because they are a Midwest blessing from God. Oh my goodness, that they grow locally is so special to us. So we like to utilize berries as much as possible.
There we go.
Blueberries are
Oh yeah.
antioxidant superfood as well, so
Yep.
why not have that in your morning routine?
Well, there you go. That's the finished cake. We got there, and we're going to put that to set in again in the fridge while we make the coffee. But super simple. You know, we're doing this as a show, and it's taken us 20 minutes. But if you were doing this without having to explain all the ingredients, and you had working food processors, it really does only take like 10 minutes maybe to prepare this, and that's going to serve, you know, a lot of people, depending on how much you eat. But if you're ever going to, you know, do those cake mornings or those bring a thing mornings, this is probably what I'd be taking if I had to, because it's super easy, and people will probably be like, wow, that must have taken you a long time to make, but really, it's simple. So we're going to put that away, and then Catherine talk to us about coffee.
As the cake's settling, you can start to get into coffee.
I encourage you to draw your own lines on what health means to you, because there's definitely going to be a large proportion of health people that just see coffee as just a complete no-go. And they're probably going to see the cake as well and be like, oh, there's this and that that's not healthy. And if you can make your own version of health to you, then you have more independence and more sovereignty over your own thoughts. Because for me, even though coffee might not be the healthiest thing in the whole world, the experience of eating it with cake, spending time with Catherine and other friends and relatives, to me makes me feel healthier than not doing that. So with all of these recipes, if you can create your own version and your own boundaries of what health is, I personally believe that's a better way to live, rather than always expecting somebody else to tell you what's healthy for you and what's not healthy for you. So I'm not saying drink 5 coffees a day. That probably is always unhealthy for everybody. But the way that we also think about coffee, especially in America, this has been a new thing for me from England. We just drink coffee mainly black with occasionally milk. Americans drink it with about this in it, that in it, cream on it, this on it, before you know it's not even really coffee, it's just a black liquid with all the other things in, and that is probably unhealthy too. So this is just going to be plain black. We might add some coconut milk, as more coconut milk, because we love it.
And coffee, once again, is good for your brain health, regardless of maybe what some people say. Other people believe that it's a nootropic, and a nootropic is just a fancy word for good for brain health. What we have here is a very niche coffee espresso press. This is a flare, and what you do is you put the grounds in a little canister like this, and then you pour hot water through there, and you press it, and you get espresso. It's incredible. We think that we get the most health benefits from a contraption like this because it's not over processing the coffee. It's getting all of the nutrients out of the coffee that we want without over brewing it. We just love this machine so much.
So you pour off a little shot here. We're using 16 grams if anybody's super into the
into the ratios, the equations. So you have to have a bit of arm strength to make these espressos.
It's pretty cool though. It's quite the machination, isn't it?
You do not have to have this fancy of a coffee maker, obviously, to enjoy a cafe morning. But we do encourage that the way that you feel and the way the coffee tastes does change when you change out of your norm. So if you usually make your coffee out of a coffee pot, maybe try a pour over or a French press, something that makes you feel fancy or special on your weekend for your cafe mornings to enjoy with your cake.
If you are going to try using one of these, a big key to it is making sure that everything's hot because the heat helps with maintain the pressure. I think this is cool. This is a pressure gauge, so it's telling you what force that you're pushing through. Put this on here and then hope. Do you want to just hold that?
Well, now the camera can't see that, Joshua. He just sent it. Wow, that was beautiful. Dun da da da! Espresso! Is that incredible? Can you guys see the cream, the crema?
It's cool, man. I mean,
that's what's on top.
Yeah, it's like the crema, like the crema that they call it.
Do you like espresso?
Not really.
No. Does anyone who likes it?
I like a lot of it.
All right. He shook his head first, so you get
That's
to try
what I've noticed in America. It's like coffee. They add so much stuff to it that the actual essence of coffee is gone. So if you want to get the cake, you've given the espresso out already.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So
man.
something also, besides changing up the brewing method that you do on the weekend, maybe you have a special reserve of coffee grounds that you buy that is a little bit more special and it has a meaning. So the coffee that we use today supports veterans. So maybe you could invest in that coffee and be like, oh, well, I'm having my special coffee this weekend, brewed specially, and I know that it supports people and I'm supporting my brain health. All of these happy things going into your weekend cafe morning.
Do you have coconut in that espresso?
That's not got coconut in.
No.
That's just plain. That's just pure black. That
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it was.
Good.
Oh, awesome.
So there you have it. You know, this is definitely not a necessary part of your week to have a cafe morning like this, but for us, this is a big part of our week, and really we probably try and get it in twice a week just because it gives us time to connect, share good food, drink good coffee, and know that whilst this may not be the pinnacle of healthy eating, you know, most of us associate that with a salad or whatever, this or everything in here is going to help you feel better. It's going to make your brain feel good. It's going to get your digestive system moving, get the blood flow pumping, and it's just a great experience, and we highly recommend that you try it.
Yeah, because once you get sipping on your espresso or your coffee, take a bite of your brain healthy cake, and you sit down for some Yahtzee or Scrabble or cards, an offline game, you're just going to really have a good day. I know it.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't cut that. We didn't even touch on that, but when you actually do this, a big thing that helps us stay more connected is to make sure the games are offline. I know we're all super on our phones and the internet world and all of those things, but if you can unplug yourself for even just an hour and enjoy this experience and play offline games, cards, Yahtzee, Parcheesi, Scrabble, if you're feeling ambitious with words, or whatever it is, that whole experience is something that really makes me feel good to be alive. Catherine too. So we hope you've taken something from this. You go off and try various aspects of this. We're going to pour some coffees for this live crowd and share this cake. Catherine, anything to add before we leave?
if you're interested in finding this recipe, you can visit feelbetterliving.com/recipes. I really appreciate the live audience. Your patience with us is always really appreciated. Thank you for all of you watching on YouTube. We love your support. I think that's it. Thank you, my husband, for always helping me.
And let's continue to feel better eating. Much love, everybody. Peace. A big thank you to all of our show sponsors and supporters who make this show possible. The Healthcare Foundation of LaPorte, Grace Learning Centre, Citizens Concern for the Homeless, and ALCO, Access LaPorte County. We appreciate all of your support.